Let's move on to something different. And it seems though we're rerunning something here, discussion on masks and many issues. But here, the Metro, why it seems like everyone is sick right now and COVID isn't to blame. And it goes on to talk about people feeling under the weather and having a whole mixture of viruses. What were your thoughts on this? Because we've seen the media tell us one story over the last 3.5 years, and it seems as though something's kind of on the horizon here, but telling us you may be sick, but don't worry, it's not COVID. What were your thoughts on this?
Well, I finished my career, as you know, Peter, in the city as the chief executive or general manager, as they're better known in the life assurance industry, as the boss of a life assurance company. So I am an ex-professional in the interpretation of mortality statistics and health data. That's how I earned my living reasonably successfully. My professional background is ACIA, not FCA, so I'm not an actuary, but I used to have teams of actuaries working for me, so on and so forth. Mine was more risk analysis, but that, it's a fairly technical sort of position. But Nick Hudson's a great actuary that we all know, and he will give you an actuarial perspective, but it's the same perspective as me. So what do you always do when you are assessing this kind of risk, global risk, actuarial risk, life assurance risk, or health insurance risk? You work out what you know. You have to say, what do we know? So we know that there are excess deaths. We know that round about 65,000 people are dying in this country, more than one would have expected. Yeah. I'll just explain quickly excess deaths. We expect, say, 500,000 people to die of something every year in this country, 500,000 or 600,000. We know that from everything, car accidents, heart attacks, kidney disease. It doesn't matter what it is. That's the ballpark figure that dies. And it's relatively straightforward to actually assess that kind of thing from an actuarial perspective. And you can get it in something called Stone and Cox, the books. You can look it up. You can look up what your life expectancy actually is. I'm 74 years old. I'm reasonably fit. My life expectancy is 83. The great thing about Stone and Cox is you can never die. You've always got a life expectancy. But leaving that aside, so you have this situation where we know that 55,000, 60,000 people are dying, and we don't know why. We know that more people are becoming ill with all sorts of things, blood clots, cardiac. We know all that. We know that. This isn't in dispute. This is a fact of life. And of course, some of the big life insurance companies in America, MetLife, for example, and Lincoln, have actually said we are very worried about this because the mortality statistics in lives, Class A lives that used to be there, have got worse. So the situation we know is getting worse. We also know, which is far more anecdotal, which is always a dangerous game, anecdotal, that more people appear to be sick in some form than before, and for longer. So yes, everybody gets, say, a winter cold, but it's now taking 3 weeks and 4 weeks to shake it. We know from very senior oncologists that cancers are coming back with patients who were in remission. All of this we know, and all of this, of course, is on my website, and this is edited and collated information from all over the world. Not big pharma, or not people paid or beholden to big pharma, or politics. So what I would suggest is, and of course, Andrew Bridgen has been trying for this, to get an inquiry, to get some kind of inquiry going as to why. Now, it's not for me to say why. I have my suspicions, believe me, and I have a lot of evidence on my website. But what we need is a proper inquiry to say why. Why are people getting sick? Why are there excess deaths? Now, what makes me suspicious is Andrew Bridgen has only suggested this. He's been kicked out of the Conservative Party. He's been shunned by Parliament because there's so much political capital. The whole political dynamic was behind this. So we know all about this. So I'm not saying one thing or the other. What I'm saying is we should have a proper independent inquiry as to actually why we are having these excess deaths and what is actually happening. And it's not just this country, it's global. Some countries are looking. Japan's beginning to look, for example, now. And there's a pushback in Canada where the numbers are appalling. So, yes, there is a problem. It seems to me that it's the suppression of our immune system for one reason or another. So we need to find out, why are we so frightened of finding out? That's the question. Whenever I find politicians and deep state refusing to open up to any investigation, and I come back to another theme which will run through every question you've got here, a free press. We don't have a free press. These are questions that independent journalists should be asking. TV presenters, newspapers, editorials, and they're not asking them. And that makes me deeply suspicious, because everybody bought into it at the beginning. How can people stand up, the Piers Morgans of this world, the Jeremy Vines of this world, and go, oh God, I should have paid a little more attention. I should have dug a bit deeper before I started recommending. And it's still happening today with pregnant women, children, so on and so forth, and we just don't know. So we know that things are being covered up, but we don't quite know why, but we should find out why. Otherwise, you're going to get this speculation and distrust of the entire medical system, which is getting worse by the month. That's not in anybody's interest at all. So let's have a real inquiry, not this fake one they've just done. I mean, that was just ludicrously fake. Let's have a real in-depth one.
Well, let me bring up. We'll jump ahead actually to this story, which is the inquiry. I believe actually it's going to be the most expensive inquiry ever in British history, and it's running something like 100 million per 2 months or something crazy like that. And here we have the COVID inquiry postpones vaccine investigation. This is, of course, because the expectation is we will have a general election. So this has been put back. I don't think many of us really believe that this COVID inquiry will actually uncover anything. It seems to be just to make money for legal teams. But were you expecting anything different, Godfrey, than stuff getting postponed and brushed under the carpet?
No, I mean, anybody, old geezers like me who used to be devoted to Yes Minister, know exactly what an inquiry is all about. An inquiry is simply brought in to cover the truth. That is the point. And the longer you delay the report, the more people are going to forget, and more people are going to actually die, aren't they? Yeah. So all the people who are giving evidence at the moment, whatever that evidence may be, are not going to be revealed for at least another year and probably another 2 years. Well, that's very convenient if they're not here in 2 years, and they likely as not won't be here in 2 years, will they? So this is what it's all about, and those inquiries. I still laugh at Yes Minister, and if there's any younger members who haven't watched Yes Minister watching your channel or my channel, get the DVDs out and watch them. If you want to know how the British government works, get Yes Minister and watch every one, because it's very funny, very true. It was Maggie Thatcher's favourite programme because she knew that's how the British government works. And of course, if the writers came back today, they would have a field day, because they could actually include World Economic Forum, World Health Organization. But of course, it's now beyond a joke. It used to be funny. Now it's just plain sinister.
No, it is. Yes, Minister. I absolutely love it. I got the DVD set and 5 series. I would encourage anyone, as Godfrey just said, to make sure, get a hold of it, watch it. British humour at its best, and showing what we're facing.
As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research based. And I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I automatically share it with you. So, surprise, won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.